Hi everyone, I'm James Lindenmuth. We are Team Alpha from Albuquerque, New Mexico, representing Cumulus Albuquerque, and this is our role-playing session for the Streaming Plus category training.
And what role will you play?
I will be playing the seller.
Hi everyone, my name is Marisa Suarez, and I will be the moderator in this.
And I'm Terry McLennan. I am going to be playing the buyer. I represent Terry's Furniture, a local direct furniture store here in Albuquerque.
Now, Terry, we've met a couple of times in the past, and we went over the four keys of branding, something that you and I have both gotten a good grasp on.
Right.
And we've come to terms, come to an agreement on a 13-week or 26-week radio campaign. But there's something else that I wanted to kind of talk to you about. Do you have some time? I want to be respectful.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
As we were, going through our meetings, not just this one, but the previous one, I noticed that, you often check emails on your cell phone or your other portable device. No, absolutely not.
That.
I want you to do that. That means business is good, obviously.
Yes.
So I want that to be a part of it. But there's an additional added value or, extra that we can kind of add to your campaign that I think is going to be useful for you.
Okay.
And it's our streaming. It's called Streaming Plus. And the way that it works is it goes through our websites. It's not radio that's in your car or through your radio perhaps that you have at home, but it goes through either iHeartRadio or online websites, however you choose to listen to our stations that way.
Okay.
And the reason I wanted to talk to you about that is because, you offer high-end furniture, stuff that's, it's not something that you're going to buy at a resale store. You're very particular about what you produce.
We carry the best.
Exactly. And so with that, you've got a group of customers that, or potential listeners that work from 8 to 5. They have office jobs. They have dispendable income. They're going to be the ones that are going to not necessarily be listening to you on the radio. They'll be listening to you through their PC, through their smartphone, as you do sometimes.
Okay.
iPad, Galaxy Tab, whatever it may be. We don't want to ignore those listeners for a couple of reasons. One, they're loyal. They're the ones that listen. They'll open up that tab and they'll listen to the station basically the entirety of their day while they're at their desk. Absolutely. And they're also interactive. When they actually listen to it, there's pop-up windows that, not pop-up windows, but the screen has interactive ads that play while you're looking at the streaming screen.
Okay.
So if you were to say put an ad on there, you'd be able to offer, not just a look at your store, but some interactive content for them to say click and go to this website. So again,
to my website?
To your website.
Okay.
Or, a certain website that you designated, whether it be a specials page or, whatever it may be.
So different landing pages.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever it may be. Okay. And again, it's the fact that they're loyal, it's the fact that they're interactive, and cost-wise, it's really not that probative. When you look at, say, what you're paying...
How much does it cost?
Okay. Well, you're working with Magic 99.5, which
Right.
is one of our great stations here in Albuquerque.
Right. We pay about $70 for our commercials.
Right about $70 a spot.
Okay.
That's correct. Okay. Now, at 5% of that, which is $3.50 per spot, what you can do is have those same commercials that you're running on the air run also online. So you're capturing that crowd while they're on the way to work, while they're on their way home from work, and while they're at their desk.
How many people listen on the website compared to listening on the air?
Well, on air you have about 60,000 listeners per week.
Okay.
And those are the people that are listening, again, on their way to work, on their way home from work, and also while they're, sitting around, obviously if they're at their house, they have the radio on.
Right.
And they're listening to it as well. Magic is one of those stations that has a great time spent listening. So they're loyal to that station.
Right.
Now, with the website, the numbers that we show, it's only about 16,000 listeners, but when you think about it, for 5% of the cost versus 60 versus 16,
it's more than 5%.
It just makes sense.
Yeah.
And the other thing I wanted to also bring up is the $3.50 you're paying per ad. Say if you were to run 30 ads per week at that $3.50, you come to a certain amount, 150 something or other dollars. How many customers would it take for you to cover that base? If
to
they
cover
were to come
$150?
Right, to just, if they were to purchase
depends
one
on,
item.
Okay, if they bought a couch, it would more than pay for itself.
Right.
If they bought an end table, yeah, it'd cover it. I
Right.
need more of a return on my investment than just an end table. But 16,000 people sounds pretty good.
And that's the point, is that it's not that you're reaching 16,000 people per week. I don't have to bring in all 16,000 of them.
Right.
I just bring in one, maybe two.
Yeah, because if you bring in 10 people to my store, I can probably close, 4 or 5 of those.
Right, and if they purchase 2 end tables, then at least you're covered on the investment you made. They go and buy a bedroom set, then that's just icing on the cake. That's just money towards your bottom line.
What about, do we run the same commercial that we're running on air as we run on the streaming?
See, that's the best part about it, is the fact that it's so flexible. You can run, obviously, with terrestrial radio, with what you're running on air, we can do several different commercials. Same thing goes with streaming. If you wanted to run a streaming commercial that was different from what you're running on air, you can, and not only can you, but I would recommend it.
Why?
Well, because with that pop-up screen that comes up showing what station you're listening to and those interactive ads, you want what's called a call to action. You want people to say, click on Terry's Furniture, maximize the window, click on Terry's Furniture, and look at Terry's, spring sale. Look at Terry's newest line of bedroom furniture. Look at Terry's newest line of dining room tables.
Okay.
And they can go and they can look at not only the storefront, they can get directions, you can put a QR code on there to where they can
So that way if they're listening at their desk, to their computer, and my ad plays, then you're telling them open up their browser so they can do that. Because most people aren't looking at their screen when they're listening, right?
No, but I think they're listening, and if they hear something compelling, then they maximize that window and they look at it. If you tell them, hey, Terry's Furniture is having a spring sale this weekend, we're offering 20% off on bedroom sets, I know personally I'm going to open that.
Yeah.
Because that's something, it's not a purchase you make every week. Furniture sales is different than other markets. So when you hear that kind of compelling creative, people are going to open that window, find their way to your website, and further ingrain themselves with, your brand identity. So, I mean, I've basically kind of built it into the package, but I wanted to talk to you about it first, obviously. But it's something that I really think could be, very compelling and also obviously add money to your bottom line.
Well, it sounds very good. I'd like to take the plan and review it, and could I get back to you next week?
Absolutely. And, what I'll do is I'll send you a follow-up email. You have all my contact information, but I'll kind of summarize what we talked about. And then if you have any questions that pop into your head tomorrow, the next day, feel free to ask me.
Great.
Sounds great.
Thank you, James.
All right.
See you next week.
Pleasure.